Good morning class and welcome back to our online classes initiated by Rishiram Shikshan Sansthan, Joshara Uttarkashi, and today's subject is English for class 9th and the topic is in the kingdom of fools. So before we start this, let us just understand the brief or we can say let us understand the characteristics of the sketch or of the story. So, in the kingdom of fools, this is written by A.K. Ramanujan, and in the kingdom of fools is a story by A.K. Ramanujan, and the story highlights the fact that in a kingdom of fools, people's life can be in danger as the king and his minister were brainless. So, being a brainless is also dangerous to people. And after that, it is a place where everything is in reverse and justice is not given. So, in this kingdom, everything is in reverse. Everything is in reverse means everything is done by the reverse side. Reverse means opposite side. So the basic four characteristics of this chapter is the king, and the king is the foolish ruler who has executed himself. Second is the minister, the foolish advisor to the king who agrees with everything that the king proposes. And the guru. A guru is a very resourceful person with magical powers who becomes king through his wisdom. And the fourth is the disciple. The disciple is a very greedy person and is a very short-sighted person. Short-sighted person means he thinks for a short period of time, does not think for a longer time. So he is a short-sighted person who remembers his guru in the time of needs. So now this in the kingdom of the fools is a Kannada folk, and so let us start the chapter. So it is believed that fools are so dangerous that only very wise people can manage them. Who are the fools in the story? Let us understand as told earlier, who are the fools in this story and what happened to them. So let us begin the chapter. So in the kingdom of fools, both the king and ministers were idiots. So there is a kingdom, and in that kingdom, the kingdom is full of, or we can say the kingdom is filled with fools, and both the king, the ruler itself, and the minister, the advisor of the king, they were not very intelligent. So they didn't want to run things like other kings. So they decided to change night into day and day into night. So the king, the ruler, saw that how the other kings worked or how they did things. So he did not decided to do similarly like them. He wanted to do something different, and the different is that he started doing things in reverse or in opposite way. So the kingdom, or we can say in that kingdom, the ruler itself, the king, decided that he will do things in an opposite direction, or we can say in a reverse direction. So what he thought, or what the minister advised him, that they will change day into night and night into day. So they ordered that everyone should be awake at night. So the king ordered to his people that everyone in the kingdom, those people who are living in the kingdom, they must be awake at night. So, and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. and they should go to bed as soon as the sun rises. anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death. And the we can say, and the strict order that king had made is that if any person in that kingdom did not follow the rule or did not follow his command, and for that the punishment will be death. So the people did as they were told for the fear of death. So everyone in the kingdom, nobody wanted to die. So everyone in the kingdom, they did as the king said. And what the king said is that at the day they will sleep and at night they will be awake and do the work. Now the king and ministers were delighted at the success of their project. So when the king saw that the people of their kingdom had obeyed what he said, so he was very delighted, or we can say he was very happy that what he had ordered is being implemented by the people. So one day a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. So one day in that kingdom, a guru and a disciple were wandering, and they arrived at the city, in the city of the kingdom of fools. Now it was beautiful city, it was broad daylight, but there was no one about. So the kingdom of fools was a very beautiful city, and we can say the natural look of that city was very attractive, but and it was at the daylight. So when the guru and the disciple arrived, it was at the daytime that they arrived in that city, but there was no one about, and they realized that no one was wandering or no one was doing any work there. Everyone was asleep, not a mouse stirring. So they saw that, or they realized that at the daytime, not a particular, or we can say not a single man or a human being was so, or we can say was seen there. So even the cattle had been taught to sleep by day. So the people were already trained, or we can say the people already obeyed the king, but the animals too had to sleep in the daytime. So the two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them. So when they came to the city and saw that no one was wandering about, so they were very amazed, or we can say they were very shocked. And they saw around them and wandered around town till evening. So when seeing all this, they wandered around the kingdom till the evening. When suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its nightly business. So when the evening arises, or when we can say that when the time period of evening came, what the guru and the disciple noticed that everyone woke up and started doing their work, whatever work they were done or whatever work should be done. So the two men were hungry. Now they were wandering from morning till the evening. So now they were very hungry. Now that the shops were open, so at the evening time now shops were open, and they went to buy some groceries. And they went to the shop to buy groceries for them. So to their astonishment, they found that everything cost the same. And after realizing such an awkward situation, that in the daytime mouse was not stirring, means even a mouse, or we can say a mouse was not moving around in the daytime. So, and second astonishment or second surprise they were that they found everything cost the same. So the cost of everything, either they bought let's say if they bought a sugar, either they bought flour, or either they bought any groceries object, the cost of that thing was same. There was no differentiation between the cost. So, and the cost at that kingdom, or we can say the currency of that kingdom was a single dudu. So dudu, dudu we can say is the currency Dudu is the currency in that kingdom. So whether they bought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, so whatever they bought, whether they bought a bunch of rice or they bought bananas, the cost of that, or we can say the cost of that product is same throughout. So the currency, or the currency for the another word for the currency is Dudu in this chapter, was a single Dudu. Now the Guru and his disciple were delighted. Now because the cost of anything was the same throughout, so they were very happy that they do not have to spend more money. So they were very delighted. So they were very happy. They had never heard of anything like this, and before, because the Guru and the disciple were wandering around many kingdoms, and they saw that in other kingdoms this was not applicable, or we can say this was not done there. So they were very surprised to see such an awkward situation. So they could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. So they could buy, we can say they could buy plenty of things, that too also in a for a rupees, or we can say for a single, because the price of the commodity was throughout the same. So when they had cooked and eaten, the Guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools, and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. So when they cooked their food and they had eaten the food, the Guru realized, or he noticed, that they had come to a kingdom where the people and the rulers of the kingdom were fools, and he thought that, and he had a good idea that he should not stay there. It wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there, because then they also have to follow the rules, that then the rules is that they have to sleep at the day and work in the night. So this is no place for us, and he says that the kingdom of fools, is not the place for them. Let's go, he said to his disciple. And after eating the food, he said to the disciple that let us go from this kingdom, because it is not good for us. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Now, because as told earlier, that the disciple was a very greedy person, and a short-sighted person who thinks for a short period of time. So he says that he wouldn't leave this place. Everything was cheap here. All he wanted was good, cheap food. Now, why the disciple didn't want to leave the kingdom? Because everything in that kingdom was very cheap, and he always wanted good and cheap food. So the Guru said, they are all fools. And the Guru said that the people living in this kingdom, they are all fools, and this won't last very long. And this situation will not last very long, and you can't tell what they will do to you next. And you cannot think that because in such a foolish kingdom, a ruler can make any rules. So he says that you won't even last very long here, because you can tell what they means. The place is not for them, because the king, the ruler, is foolish. Therefore, he can make you do anything. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the Guru's wisdom. So the Guru, as we all know, that the Guru is a very resourceful person, and he has some magical powers. But the disciple wouldn't agree to the Guru, and he wanted to stay, in that kingdom. The Guru finally gave up and said, do what you want. And after convincing the disciple, the Guru realized that the disciple is not able to understand. So he at last gave up and said that do what you want to do. I am going, and after that he left the house. The disciples stayed on, and the disciples stayed on, ate his fill every day, bananas and ghee and rice and wheat, and grew fat like a street side sacred bull. And after that he stayed there and he ate every fill. Means every day he ate good food, and he even ate bananas, ghee, rice and wheat. And after eating, he grew like a we can say he grew very fat, and the fat is compared to a street side sacred bull. So like a street side sacred bull, the disciple also grew very fat. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. So one day in the daytime, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. So the thief went to the rich merchant's house. He made a hole in the wall and sneaked in. And after going to the merchant house, what the thief did? He went to the merchant house and he made a hole in the wall and sneaked in and saw what was going inside. And as he was carrying out his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. And after that he stole all the things of the merchant, and coming back, the wall of the old house collapsed on him. It broke on him, and the thief was killed at the spot. His brother ran to the king and complained, and he complained to the king, "Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, a wall fell on him and killed him." And his brother complained to the king that when his brother was going or pursuing or was going for his ancient trade, whatever the ancient means very old, the old trade he has been doing was done. At that time, the wall fell on him and he was killed. This merchant is to blame, and he says that the fault of the collapsing of the walls is due to this merchant. He should have built a good strong wall, and he says that the merchant should have built a very strong wall. You must punish the wrongdoers and compensate the family for this injustice. And he says that you should punish the wrongdoer, and the wrongdoer for his brother was the rich merchant. And he says that the rich merchant must be punished, and compensation means some amount of money should be given to the family of this injustice. And the injustice is the collapsing of the wall on the thief, and the thief should get benefit, or the thief should get compensation so that his family can run their livelihood. The king said, "Justice will be done." After listening to the thief's brother, the king said, "Justice will be done, and don't worry." And at once summoned the owner of the house, and he said, "Don't worry." And after that he ordered his minister to bring the owner, and at once summoned the owner of the house, and after that he gathered the owner of the house. When the merchant arrived, so when the merchant arrived, the king questioned him. So the king questioned the merchant, "What's your name?" "Such and such, your highness." The king asked the merchant that what was his name, and such was your highness. The merchant replied, "Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house?" And the question was, that was the merchant at home when the thief died there? "Yes, my lord. He broke in and the wall was weak. And the merchant says that yes, and he was at that time in the house, and he broke in and he came in, and the wall was weak. It fell on him, and the wall fell on him. The accused pleads guilty. Your wall killed his man's brother. So the accused means, or we can say, the person who is blamed for that. So the accused pleads guilty, and your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. And the king decided that you are the main, we can say, you are the main culprit, and you killed the man. We have to punish you. And the king says that they have to punish the merchant. Lord, said the helpless merchant, I didn't put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. And after that, he says that I didn't put up the wall. Means he didn't construct that wall. So, and he says, and he puts the blame to the person who constructed that house. So he says that it is really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him. So he says that he didn't build at that time, so you should be punished. Who is that? Now after that he says, who is that who built that wall? My Lord, this wall was built in my father's time. So the wall that, or we can say the house that was built in the time period of his father. So I know the man, and he says that he knows the man, and he is an old man now, because we can say the masoner or the builder who built the wall was the time period of his father. So obviously the man would get older. So he says he is an old man and he lives nearby, and the person who built the wall was living nearby to him. The king sent out messengers to bring in the bricklayer who had built the wall. And after listening to the merchant, the king ordered to his messenger to bring the bricklayer who had built the wall. They brought him tied hand and foot. They brought the old man with his hand tied and foot tied. You there, did you build this man's wall in his father's time? And the king again questioned the man who built the wall, that was the wall built by you at that time? Yes, my lord, I did. And the old man replied that yes, and he did build the wall. What kind of wall is that you built? And he says, what kind of wall have you built? It has fallen on a poor man and killed him. And he says, the wall has fallen on a poor man and the wall has killed him. You have murdered him. And he says that you have murdered him. So we have to punish you by death. And he says, due to your mistake, you will be punished to death. Before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded. So before he could execute his order, the poor bricklayer pleaded. He made a humble request to the king. Please listen to me before you give your order. And he says, sir, before you give your order, please at least once listen to me. It is true I built this wall and it was no good. And he says that it is true that he has built the wall and the wall was of no good. But that was because my mind was not on it. And he says the reason behind the wall being poor was that his mind was not behind, or his mind was not on it. He was not totally concentrated on building the wall. But that was, I remember very well, a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling, and I couldn't keep my eyes or my mind on the wall I was building. And the reason behind his mind, or the reason behind he not being concentrated was that a girl was dancing in front of him and going up and down the streets all day with her anklets jingling. So he could not concentrate on the wall, and his eyes and mind were focused on the girl, because it was disturbing. The jingling of the anklets were distracting him from doing his work, or he was not able to concentrate on building up the wall. So you must get the dancing girl. I know where she lives. And again the bricklayer puts the blame on the dancing girl and says, you must punish that girl. And he says that the old man says he knows where the dancing girl lives. You are right. He said, you are right. The case deepens. Now first the merchant blames the bricklayer blames the dancing girl. So so this case was getting more and more deeper and deeper. So the case deepens, we must look into it. And he says that we must look into the case. It is not easy to judge such complicated cases. And he says that it is not very easy to judge a complicated. Very complicated means very, we can say very type of unusual or complicated or very complex or very difficult. In such a difficult case, we cannot make a judgment with a single hit. So let's get the dancer where she is. And again he sent out his messenger to bring that dancing girl to the court. The dancing girl, now an old woman. So it is obvious that it was a time period of the merchant's father. So therefore the person who will come to it will be older and older. After that, the dancing girl, now an old woman, came trembling to the court. And after that the dancing girl came trembling. With trembling means like a shivering type trembling. And he came to the court. Did you walk up and down that street many years ago? And the king asked the dancing girl that, did you walk up and down the street many times in that street years ago, while this poor man was building a wall? When the poor man was building a wall, did you move up and down? Did you see him? And he asked, did you see him? Did you see who? Did you see the old man building the wall there? Yes, my lord, I remember it very well. And the dancing girl said that, yes, my lord, I remember that situation very well. So you did walk up and down with your anklets jingling. And the king said, so that means that you were walking up and down the street with your anklets jingling. You were young and you distracted him. And he said that at that time you were young and you distracted him. So he built a bad wall. And after that he built a bad wall. And it has fallen on a poor burglar and killed him. And the wall has fallen on the poor burglar and has killed him. So you have killed an innocent man. And the king says that you have killed an innocent man, and you will have to be punished, and for that you will be punished. She thought for a minute and said, my lord, wait, before you make your order, please wait. And she said, I know why I was walking up and down the street. And she said that she know why she was walking up and down the street. I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me. So the reason behind the dancing girl going up and down was that she had given a gold to the goldsmith. A goldsmith is a person who works with the gold, and he to make some jewelry out of that gold. He was a lazy scoundrel, and that person was a very lazy person, and he made so many excuses, said he would give it now and he would give it then, and so on all the day. And he made the dancing girl fool that he will give for after some time, and after he says I'll give you by then, and after I'll give you by the next day. So the whole day was spent by going up and down in the street. He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen of times. Because of his excuses, he made the dancing girl walk up and down the street whole day. And that was when this bricklayer saw me. And that time when she was going up and down, and at that time the bricklayer saw him. It's not my fault, my lord, it's damn goldsmith's fault. And again she blames that fault to the goldsmith. So we'll continue the next set in the next video. Thank you.